let's do the recap. It's been a while, and plus we got a new player
Yeah, it's been a while.
Might do a bit longer recap, just to catch him up to speed a little bit, and also catch us up to speed a little bit since it's been so long.
Tell him what's happening.
So,
the whole thing.
In the beginning. No. So,
when we first came to Waterdeep,
yeah,
2 years
over
ago.
a year ago. Yeah, so the city of Waterdeep is the main setting. It is a large metropolis city on the coast of Faerun. Beneath the city of Waterdeep, well known to everyone, is the dungeon of Undermountain. And everyone knows it's there. Everyone just kind of ignores it for the most part. They understand it's there. It doesn't bother them. They don't bother it, that kind of thing. There's this opening to the dungeon that's inside the tavern of the Yawning Portal. And adventurers will commonly go to the Yawning Portal and lower themselves down in a winch down into the tunnel beneath and test their might against the Undermountain dungeon. And
they all die.
Usually die, or they run back up scared, that sort of thing. The owner of Undermountain, or the evil overlord of Undermountain, if you want to call him that, is the Mad Mage, known as Hallister Blackcloak. Every century or so, he tends to run a game that he likes to play, and he'll pick out adventurers and run them through his game, the Dungeon of the Mad Mage. And he runs it kind of like a game show. And this season, Joey's character, a blue Dragonborn named Draken, as well as Ben's character, a half-orc Barbarian Paladin named George, have been chosen. And now they are currently compelled in some degree to enter the Mad Mage's dungeon and proceed. The dungeon is huge, massive dungeon. There's over 20 levels.
23.
And so far, George and Draken have managed to maneuver themselves to level 3. They've gone through level 1, level 2, entered level 3, and level 3 is where the underground city of Skullport sits up. Skullport is essentially, a villainous hive of scum where all the criminals hang out. The underworld of Waterdeep, where all kind of live in Skullport. And Skullport, as a city, is run by the Xanathar Guild. I'm throwing a lot at you, but it's kind of a recap of what's going on. The Xanathar Guild was a big player in our first campaign, as well as several other factions. But at this point in our story, George and Draken, in the last session, recently came into the city of Skullport on a quest to find the Flagon Dragon tavern and deliver a package to its owner, a half-drow named Kalal. Way back in session 1, when Mert learned of George and Draken entering Undermountain, he gave them this quest to seek out the Flagon Dragon tavern and deliver this package. And at the end of the last session, after many weeks of playing, they actually got there.
We didn't get to go in.
Right outside the door, yeah. Recently, one of the group's NPC allies, named Rainier, was found out to be a spy after having had his brain devoured and his body.
Rainier wasn't a spy. He was just being puppeted by a spy.
But he was a victim of an intellect devourer creature, which took over his body. And he has been kind of traveling with the group for a while until it was revealed he was a spy, in which he fled. And so they recently actually lost a companion, which is nice to add a new one in, I suppose.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot to throw at you. I actually didn't go very deep in my recap. So if you do have any questions, we can definitely answer them along the way. It goes for anybody, not just Brandon.
Do we know what kind of intellect devouring creature it was?
Is a creature called an intellect devourer. It's essentially a brain with four legs, like a little creature with little brain with 4 legs, and it essentially is able to magically devour the brain and take its place inside the skull. Okay.
But you have a high intelligence. I have a ring of mind shielding that protects me, so poor dragons out there in the cold.
First of all, let me kind of zoom out here and kind of give you a bit of a
Oh, that's huge.
rundown of where we are here. This is the city of Skullport.
One layer of it.
And you
There are a lot of taverns.
there are a lot of taverns. It's a very tavern-heavy location.
Well,
Yeah. If you ever hear us mention the Troll School Tavern, that's actually our tavern. Like
we own it.
Oh,
It's not here though. It's back up in Waterdeep.
So, yeah, this city and Brandon, you said you wanted to be a resident of Skullport. Is that the idea still?
yes.
Okay, so you lived here, we'll say. We're going to get to your character in a little bit. So you're going to be very familiar with Skullport, and so even though you as a player may not be, your character is, right? So if anything comes up, I can say, well, Wendune knows, and I'll proceed to explain what Wendune knows. That kind of thing.
Okay,
Does that make sense?
that makes sense.
We are currently finding Draken, George, and their NPC ally Melannor, a Druid, outside the Flagon and Dragon Tavern. I assume we want to go in the Flagon and Dragon Tavern. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here's the Flagon and Dragon. So here's another map.
Well, yeah, it's set up. Remember that scene of Final Fantasy III when you go into that tavern and there's Ninja with his dog sitting there, or Shadow with his dog sitting in the corner?
Yeah.
Just like this.
This reminds me a lot of that.
You enter the Flagon and Dragon. It's a one-story wood and stone building. It's well kept. The sign out front is simple, and it has the Flagon and Dragon in kind of flowery text, and it shows a profile of a dragon above it holding a mug. And while it's simple, it's clean, and it's considered a decent tavern as far as Skullport standards go. When you enter, you notice it's pretty full. There's several people at tables. You see a half drow, a half dark elf woman standing behind the counter. On her shoulder is perched a little tiny parrot-sized dragon. It's a little pseudo-dragon
Cool.
on her shoulder. You see a couple waitresses running about and rushing back and forth between patrons and the kitchen in the back. Very dimly lit with little candles on each table. And the half drow woman at the counter kind of looks up at you as you enter. The three of you, Draken, George, and Melannor entering in, you're obviously kind of stand out from the commoners and such they usually get. And everyone kind of quiets down a little bit as you enter. And what do you do?
And I walk up to the bar,
All right.
just saunter on up, and have a seat at the stool.
I'm getting root beer.
Okay, you order a root beer. The half drow woman,
Make it too.
Kyle, she looks up at you and goes, "Root beer? Haven't heard of such a drink. How do you make it?"
I don't know.
"Well, let's try this." And she puts down a couple of mugs of this amber-looking liquid in front of you. A couple of mugs of amber, Jack. That'll put the hair on your bones, or your scales, as it were. 8 silver a glass, please.
I want something that's not alcohol.
Oh, very well. She takes the mug that she put in front of you and takes a big sip of it and puts a glass of water in front of Draken.
I'll take it.
Can I interest you in
All right.
any gump fish, ripplebark stew?
What?
We have blue bread.
What's gumpit fish?
It's a fish. You must be new in town. Gumpfish is one of the staples of Skullport. Everyone knows this.
Huh.
Where are you from? And she starts
Within
to
Rome.
clean glasses and such. The other people in the bar and taverns kind of go back to their business, seeing that you're not causing any trouble. The little dragon flaps its wings.
Little bit
It's a
farther.
nice place you got here.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate it.
She asked you a question.
So, introduce myself, George. This is Draken and Melannor.
Welcome. Welcome to the Flagon Dragon. How's your business in Skullport?
What's your name?
Oh, me? I am
Usually
Kal-El.
you respond with the name.
I am Kal-El.
Can I call you Cal?
Cal to my friends. Are you my friends? And she kind of looks at all of you suspiciously.
You might know a friend of ours, Mert.
Mert. Oh. Old Mert, still alive after all this time.
Yeah, he's still kicking.
Tell me, does he still play the harp? He kind of gives you a knowing look.
Oh, quite well.
Interesting. He gave me harp lessons in the past. I'm a little rusty, though. This mutual friend of ours, did he have something to tell me?
He did. I discreetly hand over the package.
She kind of equally just... Actually, let's do a sleight of hand check.
Really?
Let's do our first roll of the night here with a sleight of hand check. That's something that people would notice, if they, especially in a town like this.
Oh, cool. I just rolled a 20.
Natural 20?
Cool.
No, 19 plus
Still
1.
Very good. She grabs it very approvingly of your sleight of hand skills. No one notices, not even the waitress who's standing right by the bar. And she kind of slides it down to the lower level of the bar in front of her where all the glasses are and such, and kind of peeks at it and goes, much appreciated, this message. Was there anything else?
Huh. Yeah, he says he was curious. He hadn't heard from you in a while and was wondering what was going on.
I guess with you being a couple of sunshiners, haven't been in town long. Skullport has not seen good days here lately. This last year has been a rough one.
Why?
Well, she kind of looks around a little bit, and luckily I have no Xanathar sympathizers who come to my bar, but I should still be careful. Xanathar has destroyed the locks and passages that boats would take to get to Skullport from the ocean. And as well, they've barricaded or guarded all of the more easy paths out of the city that lead to the surface. So we are a bit locked down here. I have been unable to get word out, at least successfully. In addition, there have been magical wards set up within this enormous cavern of the city where scrying and as well as teleportation does not work. Any sort of magical messaging, sending, that sort of thing doesn't function. So we've been a bit under lock and key down here for about a year.
Well, seems you're spending your time wisely still.
Yeah, we're living our life.
How are you getting supplies and restocking your bar here?
Well, somehow, conveniently enough, Xanathar's forces remain stocked and healthy, and essentially have the monopoly on such things. They also have their designated businesses in the city that everyone gets their stock from. So it's quite a poor situation that we're in. But you made it here, I said.
So how can we help?
How can you help? Well, that's a heavy question.
Well, it's a very
We're happy people.
word.
Well, let me take a moment here. Brandon, do you foresee your character wanting to be a member of the Harpers? Because Kal-El is a Harper, which is a kind of like a spy. And she's going to essentially give out a Harper quest right now. Do you want to be a member of the Harpers, or would you like to join the group in some other way? The Harpers essentially are, in the city of Waterdeep especially, it's a kind of an underground spy network that are alignment-wise considered neutral good. And they are attempting to root out any kind of corruption in local governments and things, including down here in Skullport, although their power is limited down here compared to Waterdeep. But Kal-Al is a Harper, and she is one of these spies, but again, very limited in what she's able to do. But there are other Harpers in the city as well that act as kind of a more minor network of spies trying to find out how they can undermine the corrupt government here in Skullport.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. That sounds good.
Okay, so you'll be a member. So she is going to kind of wave you over from your corner booth.
All right. I will, hop off the bench and head over.
You'll come up and you'll have your robot dog here. All right, so she kind of waves you over, and George and Draken, Melannor, you see this dwarf, elderly looking dwarf approach. And why don't you go ahead and do a little introduction for yourself as she calls out, Wendune. You want to describe yourself to the group in a way that you'd like to be seen?
Yeah, you see this older, stout little dwarf with really, really thick forearms, several battle scars, and his steel dog that's, the same size as him, more or less hobbled over. So she calls me over and say, you interrupted my dinner.
Sorry about that, Wendune. We have some other players of the harp in town. And you kind of get, this to be kind of the code for more harpers have come in to the city, you being a member of that group. She looks to the three of you and says, if Wendune agrees, am I saying that right, Wendune?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Wendune.
If Wendune agrees, he can act as a guide, if you will, while you're here in the city. There are plans underway that we hope will result in the Xanathar influence of Skullport being purged permanently. And she says this very quietly. It will not be without bloodshed, but we hope to find a shortcut using the skulls.
The what?
The skulls.
Yes. Wendune knows what she's talking about, of course.
What are they?
So Skullport, just to give you a little bit of history lesson,
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
is named after the 13 flame skulls of Skullport. There are 13 flaming skulls. If you remember from last session, you actually saw one go by before you got here.
Oh, yeah.
There are 13 of
It was like crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was completely nuts and bonkers.
Yeah.
But they have been here for centuries, protecting the city of Skullport. However, over time, they've grown senile and kind of ineffective. And whenever Xanathar noticed this, they used the opportunity to take over. So Kal-Al, she goes on to say, we believe we know a way to awaken the skulls. And once we do, they will see what's going on. Oh, they will open their eyes to the atrocities the Xanathar Guild are causing. And I believe with the 13 of them combined, they will make short work of the Xanathar forces on Skull Island and in the city.
Well, I know, but everybody's here. How do they know who's Xanathar and who's not?
That's part of the problem. That's why I'm lowering my voice.
It's a good thing, too, because this guild is bad for business.
Yeah, you're basically just going to kill everybody.
Xanathar is essentially like a large organization of bugbears and thugs and
Intellect devours.
intellect devourers and all kinds of people, all kinds of different sorts of people.
Xanathar himself is a beholder.
That's not commonly known, but yes.
Well, I know that.
A large, multi-eyed beholder, if you're familiar with that creature, Brandon. Kal-Al says, one of our members, Felbranch, has a plan. Seems to know a way to awaken the skulls.
And not kill everyone?
That's the hope. I'm trusting him on this.
Oh. I don't trust.
Felrax.
Felbranch.
Felbranch.
Felrax. He resides in Dalagor's fortress.
Who's Dalagor?
Wendune will be able to guide you. Wendune knows where Dalagor's fortress is. And he also knows the password.
Is this Felrax trustworthy?
I trust him with my life, yes.
Do we need to go back?
He is a long-standing member of the Harpers. He's devoted his entire life, this last, over almost a decade, to developing a way of rooting out the Xanathar. And he had this scheme of awakening the skulls, but we need more resources. And with this last year, hopefully the three of you arriving is that resource that we need.
Well, what do you need more resources for?
We need more men.
Attack.
We need more money, which she holds up the little package discreetly, will help with. We need more food.
Money to awaken the skull?
Money is for lots of things here in Skullport.
Yeah.
Bribes, as well as any other sort of couriers and such to try and get our messages across.
Money is a most valuable resource.
Indeed. So Wendune, finish your lunch, finish your dinner if you will, but then perhaps the four of you could make your way to Dalagor's fortress. Maybe give them a little of a tour if you need to.
Actually, 5.
Hmm.
I'm pointing at the dog.
Oh yes, well,
Dinner was stale anyway. Let's get on our way. I'm ready to get this business done.
very well. She kind of reaches into the satchel, and we're going to say that that's where you're currently, like, you have over 2,000 gold in your pocket right now. We're going to say 1,000 of it has come just now from this satchel that was delivered from Mert. And as you look at George and Draken, you didn't look in the package this whole time. That's not even half of the gold that was in that little package.
Whoa.
It's like a little mini bag of holding of gold. Several thousand gold pieces in this little money purse.
Okay, cool. Like, it's like a mini bag of holding.
Yep. So, Wendune, you have your money there. That's going to kind of explain where a lot of the money you have is coming from.
Okay.
And, all right, so she says, if this is successful, if this endeavor is successful, you would have done a great service to everyone here in Skullport.
Can we take a long rest first?
She says, oh yes, I'm sorry. She sees your bloody lip there and scuffed scales from your last scuffle. She says, I have no rooms here, but there is an inn called the Dizzy Drake, Wendune. Perhaps you could lead them there and they could get get themselves settled. So,
Okay, well, let's go there and you can have a nap.
Yeah. I'm having a long nap.
we're gonna say it's evening time for the city as well, so it wouldn't be out of the question for Wendune to also want to sleep, I suppose. But there's also potential advantage to being around when most people are sleeping. So with Wendune joining the party, so to speak, which is not something I planned on, obviously, when I first started this campaign, which is great though, as a kind of a perk, as a way of kind of demonstrating or presenting that additional knowledge being added to the group, I'm going to remove all hidden text from the map.
Since he knows everything.
Since he knows where it's all at. So, essentially every location will now have its name. And you won't have to worry about, like, me trying to, now you're passing this place called the Crypt Key Facilitations and so on. I'll go ahead to the Dizzy Drake Inn. All right, let me go there.
Ooh. Do you have a map for every single place?
No, I do not have an interior location map for every building in the city.
How many do you have?
Not very many.
What? Make more because I'm
That
going
would
to every
take
single
so
building in
long.
the city.
That's a lot of work. I have one for the Flagon Dragon. Be happy.
I'm going to be going everywhere.
Well, I will describe what's in every.
Oh Lord.
Speaking of which, so there's no map for the Dizzy Drake. Okay.
Oh, come on.
But you enter this one-story building. It's in fair condition. The main entry seems quiet. There's not very many patrons, and you see a male human behind the desk.
Well, not very many patients mean there's room for us. Room.
Yeah. So he kind of looks at the four of you entering in surprise, like, "Oh, customers." And he goes, "Hello. Can I help you?"
We need.
This one needs a nap.
Hey.
Oh, you all need rooms? You need more than one room, or one room will work?
What size are your rooms?
Oh, I have many different rooms. I have a room that will fit all four of you. Well, five, the pooch. All five of you very comfortably.
Oh.
Is that okay with you, Wendune?
That's fine.
Yeah,
It's
we'll take it.
four gold. Actually, we'll say 1 gold per person. Yes, 1 gold per person.
Including
1
the
gold per
dog?
person?
The dog is not required to pay. I assume the dog has no money.
Hmm.
So 1 gold per person.
All right.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll
Seems a
take
little
one.
steep.
Refresh my memory. How does the money break down? Is it all gold coins, or does it break down into smaller?
there's gold, silver, copper. So yeah, 10 copper is 1 silver, 10 silver is 1 gold.
Oh,
What
okay.
about Electrum?
But don't worry, I got this though. We have a party coffer.
Right.
Oh, I
I don't know, but 1 gold a piece seems kind of steep. How about half?
That's, yeah.
Really? Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it's usually 4 gold, but okay. I was-
4 gold a piece?
Wendune, why don't you do an insight check on this guy?
Okay.
A 12?
Hmm.
Okay. Well, you know this guy. His name is Chorin, and you notice that Chorin seems very nervous, more nervous than usual. He's a very nervous person anyway, but you're kind of giving him a look like, what's wrong with you? But you notice he has this kind of nervous feeling to it. Now, as Wendune, you being a resident of Skullport's actually a very expensive city to live in because everything is so rare. So a lot of the costs are increased compared to the surface world.
Oh, really? It's rare here? Rare stuff?
Well, it's rare to have stuff, so anything is more expensive typically.
Oh.
Because the city's locked down, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So food and such is more expensive than usual, that kind of thing.
Well, they can go fishing.
Most people do probably.
All right. I'm going to look at him. I'm going to say, what's on your mind, lad?
Oh, nothing. Just haven't had any visitors today. So you're the first, and it's late in the day, so it's just very unusual to have so many visitors come in all at once. It's just strange. But glad to see you're making new friends. But yes, is 1 gold apiece, so 4 gold total.
So he's still being super nervous.
Yeah, he's very nervous.
So he's trying to say that it's 4 gold for all of us instead of 16 for all of us.
Right, like it used to be.
Do we notice that he's nervous?
Wendune is more familiar with him, so you would probably maybe take him as this is a nervous looking guy, but he just kind of maybe that's how he is.
All right. I'll go ahead and pay for a week. The 10 day.
Okay.
A week? Why?
10 day.
And he's like, oh,
Why not?
Oh,
wow.
we're going to be staying here?
I did not know it was going to be for such a long time. Okay. Well, how about this? And he kind of looks at you, George. He goes, how about pay for tonight? See if you like the place, and then if you want to continue, sure.
Okay. I'm gonna look at him and be like, "Your twitching is making me nervous."
Oh,
It's odd for a store owner, a merchant to refuse money.
oh no.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, people die here all the time. It's a very dangerous city, so I don't want to just.
Right. So, what do you want the money up front then?
Okay, fine. Okay, sure. Okay, you've convinced me.
No. What's going on, dude?
Nothing's going on. I just, you know, trying to help a friend of Wendune out. You know.
What's going on?
All right. At this point now, yeah. Okay, you guys can all do. Wendune's already done it, but one of you, George or Draken, can do an insight check.
I didn't know you're so insightful.
I am insightful, but not that insightful. I rolled a 9.
Oh.
Okay. So he seems very nervous. Maybe he just doesn't like crowds. Maybe there's too many people in this building right now with the 4 of you all coming in at once. So you hand him 40 gold for a 10-day. So he's taking advantage of the cheap rooms. All right. So Chorin, he goes, "Oh, okay, right this way," and he grabs a lantern and he leads you around his
pillar
counter. And you'll see a set of stone stairs leading down. And Wendune, you know this inn. This is where all the rooms are. This is not unusual to go down into this area, but he leads you down into this cellar-like area. It's this long stone hallway lit by lanterns. And you kind of get the feeling, Draken and George, you're new here, that this place used to be perhaps a dungeon in the long past, but it's been converted into, over the last several decades, the cells have been renovated into comfortable living spaces. But it is very empty down here. There's like no one else. He leads you to...
I asked why.
Oh, business has been slow. He leads you to a room, one of the larger chambers that perhaps in the past was a large cell for like general population or something, but it sits inside. You now see, instead of it just being a dungeon room or a cell, it now has 4 comfortable beds. You see a table with chairs, like kind of like a little mini conference table, so a relatively large suite, if you will, room that he's putting you up in. There's no windows, of course, you're underground.
Is there a kitchen?
No kitchen.
Aw.
But there's 4 beds, a larger table, and at the foot of each bed is an empty chest for putting valuables and things like that. And there's also little end tables beside each bed with a candle unlit. But being a long stone hallway like it is, your footsteps do echo kind of creepily with this long, empty hallway. And he comes in with his lantern, lighting the way down for you, although a couple of you have dark vision, so it doesn't really affect you too much. But Draken, you appreciate it. He comes in, he takes a little wick from his lantern and takes a little fire from the lantern, lights the candles in the room to kind of bring some light into the room. And he kind of looks to all 4 of you and says, "Here you are. If there's nothing else, I will bid you a good night." He kind of waits a moment and then walks out of the room, closes the door behind him, and you hear him kind of footsteps walking away rather quickly.
He just fell.
Like footsteps kind of walking away down the hallway, and they're walking a bit quicker pace than you might normally think a regular pace would be.
I just have a feeling, since he's nervous, I just had this weird feeling that something's gonna happen and that there's like something else down here.
So this room is the door, the only entrance exit?
Yes, there's only one door. There's no other exits out. It's like, imagine a motel or even a hotel hallway with rooms on the sides, the same kind of idea.
Ooh.
Except it's all stone.
We have a guard dog.
Yeah,
I was about to say, I'm gonna stick him there.
So you
all right,
kind of get ready to kind of, settle down for an evening's long rest. Is that about right?
First off, hold on, before you do all that, Melannor is going to cast Snare in front of the door.
Okay.
Basically set a trap, lasts for 8 hours. And while he's doing that, I, as George, will be going around making sure about like any kind of secret doors or passages or other entrances that might sneak up on us.
I use my
Hold on a second. One thing at a time. Let's do an investigation check then around the room. One of you can roll, or one can roll with assistance if anybody is proficient in investigation.
I'm ready.
So who's making the investigation check?
I would just like to say I have a wand of secrets that could just take away all this work. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to use that?
It just detects secret doors or any kind of secret whatever.
Trap doors.
Secret doors mainly.
Secret passages.
Let's see. Let me look at it again just to kind of
That takes
confirm
that.
that. So any secret doors or traps within 30 feet will be
Hello.
detected.
The secret doors obviously means trap doors, but does it also mean like passages?
Any secret door.
Okay.
Well, there had to be a door to the passage, I guess. So yeah, go ahead and do that.
Typically.
And also trap doors. They're a door and a trap. Ta-da!
Mm-hmm. So
Well,
you're going to use it? Is that what I'm hearing?
yeah.
Okay, so you use your wand of secret. You pull it out, Draken, and you kind of tap it like a tuning fork, and it kind of vibrates in your hand a little bit, and then kind of rests. So no secret doors within 30 feet.
Secret doors. Well, how big is the room?
The room is approximately, we'll say 20 by 20.
Oh, so it will detect everything.
Yeah, it would detect anything in this room.
I look
Although
up.
I will say it points at the snare trap on the floor that
Oh yeah.
Melannor has.
I go ahead and look into the hallway with it pointing.
You're going to walk into the snare trap? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm going to walk over by it to see if it points to anything other than the snare trap. Says it points. It like transfers the pointing.
Now I gotta look at the snare trap spell and see how big a snare this is.
Oh well, I would not step in the snare. Seriously.
It's a 5-foot radius on the ground.
Yeah, it's like 5 feet.
Well, it takes a minute to cast, so we won't say he hasn't finished it yet.
All right, we'll retroactively say that during the minute that Melannor is casting this spell,
I go
you
through
open
and go
the
out.
door and leave.
But I'm like, don't finish that. And I'm just checking the hallway.
So you're gonna use another
How long
charge.
does it stay on?
It's just within 30 feet of when you use it. Bam! It detects.
Oh, I thought it would stay on for a little
It
bit.
doesn't
so I
stay
can
on
walk
for
through
any
this
period of
hallway.
time. It's just you use it. It detects anything within 30 feet.
Well, I'm gonna just step out and then bam, to just see if there's anything outside the hallway by us.
All right, you step out into the hallway.
Bam.
Bam! You use your wand of secrets. So use another charge. It kind of vibrates in your hand a little bit and then settles back down.
Okay, nothing is by us. I step back in before the snare trap's done.
All right, you step back in just as the snare trap completes and you become snared. No, I'm just
No!
kidding. I'm just kidding.
That'd be mean.
Okay. You've investigated the room. You've found those secrets. You've done with the wand of secrets, I should say.
One more thing, if Wendune doesn't mind, and I cast protection from evil and good on him.
Okay.
All right. No intellect devours are driven from his skull or anything like that.
Good to know. Just checking.
However, none can get in for a little while too. So.
Yay! Actually,
All right. I think we've done our due diligence.
I'm going to sleep because I'm waking up in 8 hours.
Draken falls unconscious.
In a bed, crazy.
Okay. So you all kind of settle into your beds. Wendune, is there anything in particular you'd like to do before settling in for a long rest with Boulder or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna instruct the dog to destroy anything that gets ensnared.
Okay, so if something were to become ensnared, Boulder will attack. You all kind of settle down for the night. I got you guys all on edge. It's kind of fun.
What?
I have you all on edge, it seems like. I'm having fun with it.
Well, someone's nervous makes us all nervous.
I know. You just say an NPC's nervous, and all of a sudden everybody's on edge. Okay, you all sleep through the night soundly. So
The second the snare tries to sound, I wake up.
whatever. So you all, anyone who's missing health can restore it. You restore all spell slots. Those of you who can prepare spells can prepare new spells at the beginning of the day.
When
So Wendune and Melannor both can do that.
I don't get to do
So
that.
Wendune, with each long rest, you can choose different spells for that day. If you decide a certain spell is not useful, you can switch it out to something else.
Okay.
Boulder was a good guard dog all night long. Nothing came in, though. The snare eventually fades after the 8-hour period. And you all wake up, go back to consciousness. You don't hear anything because you're underground in this kind of underground fortress, if you will, where the rooms are, except for maybe kind of almost like dungeon sounds, which especially Draken and George have kind of become accustomed to, with like the wind kind of echoing from upstairs through down the hallway and such. But otherwise, no other guests of the inn seem to be in attendance. So in the morning time, you hear a very timid knock on your door.
Hello?
Draken goes to answer it, apparently. And you see Chorin there, with his lantern, because it's still very dark down here for the
Is
most
this
part.
snare trap still on?
The snare has faded at this point.
Okay.
And Chorin goes, "Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
I hope everyone slept well."
What, were you expecting something bad to happen?
No, not at all.
You do seem surprised to see us.
I insight him on, no, no.
So, okay, you'll be the last one to insight him. Everyone else is gone.
Well, I'm at the door.
Everyone, you can't just keep doing the same check over and over again until you get it right.
Oh, got 6.
6, all right. He's such a nervous guy. So,
Yeah.
he was. So what were you saying, George?
I said he seems surprised to see us.
Oh no, just getting used to having guests again. It's nice. We
It's
don't.
been a while since you had guests.
It has been, actually. Yes. We don't have any. I don't have any food to serve you, but I do have a standing deal with Cal Al at the Flagon Dragon. You know, she sends me customers. I send customers her way, and that kind of thing. So.
Does she still send you customers?
Oh yeah, sometimes. I assume that's where you guys came from. Is that not true? Kal-El sent you?
Yes. My friend, how long has it been since you had a guest?
Oh, it's been about 2 weeks, 10 days, about 20 days. So I've just been hanging out.
Bag-breaking work around here, I see.
Yeah, you could say that. Anyway, you have the room for the rest of the week, so feel free to come and go as you please. If you need help getting down here, let me know. And he hands you, George, a key to the room. He didn't hand it to you yesterday, but he hands you one now.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
And then he
Interesting.
He kind of does a little nod and walks back up the stairs, back to the main floor.
Does he walk back as fast as he did last night?
Pretty much, yeah. Same kind of pace. Kind of a fast stepping walk.
Should we check this hallway?
You already did, I
I
thought.
think he's scared. I think he's just scared of the dark.
The guard?
The dark.
Oh, yeah, it probably is. No wonder he
Yeah.
puts the lantern around wherever he goes.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do in this location before heading back into the main city?
Wants to check the tunnel with me, like the whole thing. Fine.
Okay, so you guys all leave the Dizzy Drake Inn.
I do not leave any of my belongings.
Okay.
I don't
You
trust
bring all
them.
your stuff with you.
Although I should.
All right, you head back out. So, would you like to go straight to Felrax's, or is there, or Wendune can take you anywhere you'd like to go, as far as businesses or other such things?
Food.
I was about to ask that. Do y'all pay attention to hunger?
Not too strictly, but it's something that if it goes for a long time, I might mention it. Like, hey, you guys haven't ate in a long time. That kind of thing.
Like
Joey is like a food connoisseur.
Yeah, Draken does have a bit of a chef complex.
that's why I asked if there's a kitchen, because if I do cook something, whoever eats it gets a +1 temporary hit point.
Mm-hmm. So you could return to the Flagon Dragon if you'd like, or you can
cook.
Continue your way. The city is yours to do with as you will. Obviously, it might be a bit of like, well, I don't know where to go.
I want to go to the 3rd floor.
You can kind of see all these locations.
What's the keel hall?
Keel Hall? It's abandoned.
I want to go there.
Key
I want to go there anyway.
to an abandoned place.
Yeah, I want to go there.
That has a very ominous name, too.
The Keel Hall.
What used to be there?
Well, I'm going to try and stick, at least within reason. Your character's not going to be like, I'm going to choose a random name out of my hat and go there. I would like there to be some kind of, impetus for why you're choosing to go somewhere.
Pawn shop. I want to get a souvenir.
Pawn shop? Thimblewine's pawn shop? Welcome to the game, Brandon.
It's been so long.
I must have a souvenir now.
So, Callow mentioned that there's like an ocean passages. Like, where is that in the town?
Wendune would know this. If you were to go south, there's a bridge that leads down to Skull Island, which is a fortress out in the middle of a large body of water called the Skull Pool. And from the Skull Pool, there's passages that lead out to the ocean that apparently are no longer accessible.
Why
There's
is
a tattoo part.
why is Dead Man's Corner called Dead Man's Corner?
You're not there. You have no idea about Dead Man's Corner.
Oh, I want to go there now.
All right.
There's lots of places to go. Everything that has a name, I will say, I do have a written description about.
Okay.
So, but I'm not saying that as a let's go bar hopping.
Yeah.
What's this one?
If you're interested in certain
So
things,
Boner shop.
Is the Xanathar's headquartered in that Skull Island fortress? Like, is that a known thing? Or am I just guessing?
Wendune, again, would know this. He can regale that Skull Island is not necessarily the Xanathar headquarters, but it's definitely a Xanathar-led, held fortress.
Is there any good souvenir shops here?
Wendune, you can answer that question however you see fit.
Hey.
There are a number of shops, some of them pawn shops, some of them, boat shops. There are any number of shops that you can possibly want to go
What's
to.
a pawn?
Would you like to pick up provisions before we go and talk to, what's his name?
Felrax.
Felrax.
Okay, this city, and again, this is a little bit for Brandon's sake, but also recapping for everyone else. This is a gloomy city, okay? This is not the shining jewel that is Waterdeep. This is a rundown, gloomy city. At any time, if you wanted to, you could look up and you could see ship netting, like twined and ship parts and pieces that have been reconfigured into buildings. And almost at any time, if you wanted to, you could look up and climb with a skill check and get to the 2nd level of Skullport. Skullport is a 3-tiered city with a level of city on top of another level of city on top of another level of city.
That you have to climb to.
You can either climb to get there, or there are normal, stairs to get up as well.
I want to explore this whole place.
Actually, if you look at the map here, you'll see there's like a darkened path through here, that's the shadow of a walkway up above you.
Oh, it is?
So anytime you see these kind of darkened squares that running through alleyways and such, those are actually hanging wooden walkways above you of the upper level.
I hope they don't fall.
So that's a good clue as
Okay.
to whether or not you can climb up or not. Is if there is a walkway to climb to, you more than likely can climb up right now if you wanted to. Again, it is a skill.
How dark is the shadow?
The shadow is mainly for
Like,
your
is it something like someone could hide in?
No, it's mainly for your benefit to know where it is as a game thing.
Hopefully nobody causes trouble.
Not-
Is there anybody else on the streets?
There are lots of people out in the streets. I'm not going to have tokens for every single Skullport citizen, but just imagine.
Not to add to Joey's chaos, but I do have to ask, what is the glowing gumpfish?
Yeah. I don't even know what gumpfish is.
The glowing gunfish, man. Don't you know the glowing gunfish?
No, I want to know what it is.
Well, first of all, so yes, you're in the Tradeway, which is a wider street, one of the main paths through the lower level of Skullport. And there are, I'm not going to say it's crowded, but there are people. You can see several kind of beggars kind of sitting on the side of the road, looking very haggard, kind of have their hands out, very pathetic individuals, poor, squalid, of all races and creatures. Like you see, it's not just humanoids also. You see like bugbears, and as you see like goblins and elves and humans and orcs and half-orcs and just all kinds. But it's not super crowded. It's not a dense crowd of people, but you do pass people here and there.
I tossed a silver to one of the people randomly.
Oh, do you now? So you suddenly see many such beggars coming your way. Like, ooh, please, please.
I gave
That was a bad
Dragon,
idea.
Mr. Dragonborn,
How many other?
please. And you see a crowd of people coming, and just dozens coming out of the woodwork. See
What?
some of them climbing down from above.
I passed someone a silver.
Like
We need to
one
get
with
out
the
of here
silver
now.
is being like
Oh, gosh.
attacked to grab that silver from them.
Oh, come on. Never mind. I didn't do that.
You did it. It's done.
Oh, come on.
You see just out of the woodwork.
You have regretted your action.
And suddenly you see a flaming light come around the corner.
I didn't
as
do
a
anything.
Flame skull shoots toward the crowd and goes, "Crowds will disperse." And the crowd just, they disperse. They don't want to have anything to do with that thing. And the skull's just flaming and looking at the four of you go, "Disperse."
I ran away. I go
Yeah,
away.
let's disperse.
I told you we
Yeah,
need to get out of
what's
here.
disperse mean?
Leave.
Okay, I'll leave.
So you all kind of rush away, and we'll say you head down this alleyway. Oh, look, there's the glowing gunfish.
Yeah, I want to go there.
Oh, boy.
The skull, you see the crowd at the alleyway, the tradeway here just gets empty, and the skull seems satisfied. It goes, "It's more like it. Back to my tea and crumpets," and it flies away.
What? Tea and crumpets?
These skulls are
That's
insane.
Those old skulls.
They are.
So the glowing gunfish.
My water gun.
It's a one-story wooden structure. It's got a large fish sign out front. The interior, if you go inside, is rather plain, but functional. Do you go inside?
Yes.
Draken pushes his way through into the door, and you see a male lizard folk kind of perk up. "Oh, welcome. You looking for fishing supplies? I have tackle, I have poles, I have lobster traps, I have eel traps, I have crab traps, all kinds of traps for fish. Yes?
I'm just browsing.
So this is a bait shop, essentially. It sells supplies for fishing.
Okay, on to business. I think that's enough browsing.
Okay, so now the lizard folk goes, "Oh, where you go? Where you go? Okay." You return back to the tradeway. People are starting to kind of peek their heads out, and Flame Skull's gone. Okay, and they start to kind of go about their business. And you can continue.
I'm not going after the Dragonborn anymore.
A lot of them kind of look at Draken wistfully, like hands outstretched, but they're not making a big fuss about it right now. Okay, continue this way. So, am I understanding that we're heading toward the pawn shop? Is that right? Or do we want to go to...
Oh, we're still doing that?
Yeah.
Because the pawn shop is right there, if you wanted to go that way. As you meet this fork in the road here, you see the sign for the pawn shop.
Yeah, let's go to the pawn shop. I liked Wendune's idea about seeing what everybody's been selling, trying to make some money.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually want to buy something.
You walk inside. This is actually almost like a little mini mall of buildings kind of butted up next to each other. So this building is not this long as it appears on the map. There's several other businesses also in this big block of doors. Zoom in here. You walk inside and you see a gnomish woman kind of poke her head up from behind a very far too tall of a counter for herself. And she goes, "Oh, hello!" And she stands up on a footstool so she looks a little bit more regular size from behind the counter. And she goes, come in. Interested to pawn or sell?
Pawn. Or buy, actually.
Buy.
Yeah, we can buy as well. All right, so she essentially is a pawn shop, in the way that I described to you, Joy, and how everyone else knows pawn shops. But
Buy.
she has essentially a chance to have most any mundane equipment. I would roll to see if they have it. If she has it on hand, anything in particular you are looking for, mundane type non-magical stuff.
Does she have anything interesting?
I would roll to see if she has anything interesting, actually. So let me do that.
Okay, cool.
Let's see. She does not have anything. She has nothing magical, to put it that way.
What? Magic. It doesn't have to be
Nothing
magic.
Shouldn't she have some interesting stuff?
Nothing obviously magical in stocks. Now she does have mundane things. She has like pieces of armor and weapons. Adventuring gear, that sort of thing.
What kind of weapons?
You see like daggers. You see a great club, quarterstaffs. Spears. You see crossbow bolts and darts and that
Is
kind
there
of
like
thing.
a good... I asked her, is there any good souvenirs here?
Oh, if you want trinkets, she could have trinkets here. What kind of trinkets are you looking for? You just have little bits and bobs. You can see like little figurines and non-magical, semi-precious rings that people have pawned and things. Like a little gold band, worth of gold or so, that kind of thing.
What's the most cool ring?
Nothing cool necessarily. You see perhaps
Neat.
a gold ring with a little emerald on it.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a nice one. You interested in the emerald gold ring?
Interested depends on the cost.
Oh, I could part with this for measly 35 gold.
35. Okay.
35 gold?
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. She goes, well, if you ever want to come back, my name is Crystalline. You can call me Crystal. It's nice to meet you. Stay safe out there and close the door behind you.
Okay. And nice rings.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Catch the jewelry.
I'm going to zoom out just so you guys can see more of the city as we're going by. In case you do want to call anything out, you can. Okay, so Wendune continues to guide you through the city, and you're heading down past a rowdy-looking tavern called the Black Tankard into a large open area called Harold's Meat Square. And I do want to point this area out since it is a rather important area.
Yes.
You see a large well in the center, or not center, but in the opening here of this area. And let me get to that.
There's a quick cure shop.
So you'll see this courtyard here. This is a large courtyard here at the west side of the lower level of the city. It is flanked around all sides with 10 ship masts that serve as anchors for overhead walkways and netting and rigging and that kind of thing. And many of the masts have notices attached to, like a notice board advertisements, business flyers, as well as employment opportunities.
Anything interesting in it?
You see quite a few people kind of loitering around, and you'll notice one comes up to you and goes, "If you can't read, I can read a notice board to you for just a few silver. A few silver. If you can't read, I can read for you. A few silver."
Read.
And you see several people kind of loitering around that offer to read the notices to people, assuming like bugbears and such can't read. They offer their services.
I can read.
Oh, okay. And he kind of nods his head and moves on to someone else who perhaps would need his service. But yeah, so if you were to choose to do so, you don't have to do it right now, but there are quests available, side quests, if you will, if you were to look through these notice boards and find different things. If you want to do that, I can read some to you, and you can kind of tuck that away in the back of your mind. Or we can move on and you come back later, that kind of thing.
Anything interesting?
It depends on what you think is interesting.
Quest.
I'll give you the name of the notice, and you can tell me if you want me to read more, and feel free to say, that's enough, we'll keep going.
Yeah.
So one is called a new ward, and you've heard that word ward before. The ward is what's causing certain magics around the city to not work. And so there's one quest here called a new ward.
What's the new word going to be?
Okay, I'll read it to you. So the description of this is like, did you know that you live in a cavern that was created by strong magic and that the ceiling could collapse at any moment? What? I'm searching for a few fellow arcanists that could help me devise and maybe even execute a new support ward. If you're interested, search for Old Warren in the Dredge. So, someone looking for people to come. See, another one is called The Curse of the Black Bell.
What?
There's another one called The Creel Fishery Grand Reopening. Okay.
Curse?
There's one called Searching for Prospectors. There's just lots of different things, and I can definitely read
What's
them
the
to you.
curse?
The Curse of the Black Bell.
Yes.
All right.
I don't want to accidentally fall in the curse.
So this one says, for years I've been preaching that the Black Bell is cursed, and finally I have proof. You know whose head explodes when one of the skulls is destroyed? Exactly. The person who stood nearest to the Black Bell at the time of its chiming. I'll prove it. Don't you worry. Visit the Black Bell, but don't come too close. So,
I don't think I want to come too close.
Wendune would know that the skulls of Skullport, they've been around for centuries, but that hasn't stopped certain people to try to destroy them. And every now and then they're successful. They'll kill one. But the way it works is, when one of the skulls is destroyed, another one rises to take its place. And that means someone's head explodes, and a skull pops out and becomes the new skull of Skullport. And there's a random person, a random citizen of Skullport who becomes the new skull.
But, so, basically the saying is that he has proof that the Black Bell is what it is.
And Wendune also knows the Black Bell is a large clock in the upper levels of Skullport.
Oh, I bet I know why he's gonna make someone he's gonna kill a skull and make someone turn into a skull.
I don't know, but he's
inviting
people to come see his proof as to how to know who is going to become a skull when it happens.
I don't want to.
When a new skull comes up, is it has the same personality as the old one?
Yes, it's essentially a clone of.
So it's still senile and the same.
Yep. It essentially replaces the other skull with by a random citizen of Skullport having their head pop off and a new skull appear.
That's kind of ridiculous.
So people tend to leave the skulls alone because they don't want to be, they don't want to be the lucky guy who all of a sudden becomes the new skull.
Well, I'm just going to stay away from the Black Bell.
Okay.
So theoretically, this place can become abandoned real quick.
If enough people try to destroy the skulls, sure.
People don't do it.
All right, you also see, I'm just going to read through a couple more. Searching for prospectors, an advertisement to visit the Crowing Cockatrice, which is a tavern. You see lots of posters about missing people.
Well, that's kind of obvious. What's the most missing people? Do they all seem to connect?
Without really investigating it, it's hard to see how these people connect, especially since you're new in town and don't know who these people are.
I just want to read through one, missing people, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, you see just a lot of little posters of missing so-and-so, missing so-and-so. If you're looking
this
for
isn't
names, some names are... We've
And
got...
I also want to just know what they look like, just in case if I ever find them. I like to know
Well,
what
I'll give
they
you-
look like.
I'll give you one. How about that? One really obvious one. Lord Crackle is missing.
Who's Lord Crackle?
A male goblin bard who's not actually a lord, but he thinks he is. And he's known for wearing a rather outlandish feathered jester's cap. So he is a missing person. He's actually a well-known kind of local crackpot. Wendune would know about Lord Crackle. Wendune like, oh man, Lord Crackle is missing. Nuts.
The town crazy.
Town crazy man. Oh, there's lots of town crazy men in this city. So anyway, this area here, if you want to come back at some point and look at this more thoroughly, you can.
Yes.
Not that I'm stopping you. I'm doing it now.
Anything that looks like a quest?
All these are quests.
Oh, they are?
Everything I'm reading to you is a quest.
Oh, then
Potential quest.
no. Okay.
So Brandon, I'm an over planner. Welcome to my world. All right. So after you've spent some time here, Wendune will then lead you to these stairs. And these stairs will lead up to the second level, the middle level of Skullport.
Basically, we're just looking around while we're going to the... Oh, this is nicer.
So here you can see you are now, as you climb up these stairs, you are a good 12 feet approximately above the lower level that you were just in.
Stay on the platforms.
Mind your step, you wouldn't want to fall.
That's exactly right.
Especially by that well.
Shit.
So as you come up here, these walkways, you can imagine them being like wooden bridges, essentially. They're held together with rope. It actually is a very respectable career choice to be a bridge repairman in the city, repairing all the bridges and making sure everything is still in good shape. All right, so as you're walking through this area, there's also, you'll see more businesses. And these are, like I said, a second level of city above the first. Lots of places. You see some places might be named again because they're 2 stories. They might have entrances above and below, like the Keel Hall, for example. That's what you saw before. You make your way to this seemingly abandoned building.
Are you able to step on the bricks?
This is the roofs of the building below.
Oh. If they have roofs.
Okay.
Oh, I can kind of see now the roofs.
Okay, this is a 2-story building, seemingly abandoned, but it's a stone kind of fortress. Very Gothic-looking stone statues above, perching, looking down below. The windows all seem dark, but you do hear kind of sounds that seem to be coming from within. Wendune would say, since he knows, that there's a rumor around town that this building is haunted, but it actually is a Harper hidden hideout kind of thing, or a safe house. So Wendune, since he is a member of the Harpers, he would know this. He walks up to the door, he kind of knocks on it. A little sliding opening in the door slides open, and Wendune says, I'm going to go ahead and say it for you. The neighbors have some concerns about the volume of your harp. You kind of hear it slides back closed, and the door opens. As you peer inside, just from the outside looking in, Dalagor's fortress appears haunted from looking inside as well. Like if you're looking inside this building, you would think you're looking in a vampire's fortress or something. It's like cobwebs everywhere, dilapidated structures. You don't see the person, whoever it was that opened the door. They don't seem to be visible.
Sure, it's not a rumor.
Like maybe ghosts, ghost stories and such. But as Wendune enters, he vanishes.
Oh.
And he entered very confidently.
Oh, I know it's illusion. I walked through.
Yep, it is an illusion. You're right. So with the Wendune's guidance, you walk through and you very quickly vanish. The door closes behind you, and now you find yourself in a very nicely furnished a seemingly mansion.
Woo!
It's like very well cushioned furniture, bookcases, very well lit, much different on the inside than it looked on the outside. And there to greet you is a large male copper dragonborn.
Ooh.
And he goes, "Greetings, Wendune. So good to see you.
Likewise.
This is Felbranch."
Felbranch. That's Dalagor's fortress.
Okay, so I've brought you some fellow harpers who are here to help you with your restoring of the flaming skulls.
Oh, excellent. I haven't seen new harpers in town in so long. Are you from the surface?
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. How did you get here? Skullport has been locked down.
Hey, it's a journey.
The long way, huh?
Yeah. With help of
Through the
course.
Underdark or through Undermountain? Both ways treacherous.
Undermountain.
Ooh, I don't envy you that trek. Well, I'm so glad to see you. Yes, you're here for my crazy crackpot plan, huh?
That's it.
I just have a question. Do you have a way to not kill everybody?
That's my hope.
Oh, come on. Seriously?
Well, sounds like you've heard already about the flame skulls of Skullport and what they do and how they've kind of lost their potency over the years. Well, listen, I have a dream. No, not a dream. I have a fantasy. As a harper, I am sworn to fight tyranny no matter where. No matter how dire the fight, even here in Skullport. So now that you're here, if you are willing to help, we will rise the flame skulls up to join us in our mission. Here's what we must do. You may not know this, but I am a wizard, and I have been studying long time. This is about 10 years now. Ever since the Xanathar Guild have taken over, I have been studying ways of finding how to subvert whatever sickness of the mind these flame skulls have grown over the centuries and tried to reverse it. And I have found a way.
Ooh,
As it is an experiment, it requires a bit of alchemy. Are any of you alchemists?
No, but I have an alchemy jug.
Not the same, but thank you. How about the three of you?
Nope.
Not an alchemist.
Okay. Well, in that case, we may need to ask for help from Nightshade. And Wendune knows that Nightshade is this old hag of a woman who runs a alchemist shop called Nightshade's Caress.
Not this beardless ninny.
Melannor might be able to help. He's got herbalism skills.
Oh, we could try. Okay, great. So, if you are able to find the ingredients, we can put together a tincture that, when used in conjunction with a ceremony, a ritual, if you will, we can turn at least one of the flame skulls. All we need is one. Grab one and perform the ritual, and it will then go about healing the rest. It's like a disease reversal, if you will. Once one is cured, it will spread the cure to the rest.
I will say, how do you get a flame skull without it just trying to destroy you?
That's a good question.
Really?
I would suggest not attacking it if you can. So the plan is...
Oh, we just get some tea and crumpets. And
Yeah.
lure
Mm-hmm.
They love those.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea. If they like those, sure. Well, once we have this tincture, and I foresee we may have to go to Nightshade, at least for the ingredients. If you can do the potion yourself, that would be even better.
What are the ingredients?
I have the list here, and he kind of hands it to Draken.
Ooh,
And you just see a long list of very obscure sounding names of herbs and other such minerals and things.
Is there acid, basic, poison, beer, honey, mayonnaise, oil, vinegar, water, fresh water, salt, or wine?
Mayonnaise is the first ingredient. What a coincidence.
Yay.
Mayonnaise is used as the binding agent.
Okay, well, I got the mayonnaise. How much do you need? Because I can make 2 gallons.
Great. That's 1 down. A dozen to go.
The alchemy jug, if you look at it, it's filled with mayonnaise.
Awesome. Hopefully that doesn't go bad before you need it.
No. I can refill it.
So once you, I would say, once you approach Nightshade with the shopping list, she will probably send you on some sort of errand. This is going to be one of those quest for a quest things, I'm imagining. And she will create this potion for us. We would then use this potion with a flame skull through a ritual to cure it of its dementia.
With crumpets and tea.
And then it would spread that cure to the rest of the flame skulls. Now I will keep in mind that Xanathar does not want this to happen, so keep it on the down low, as the kids say.
Okay. Well, you just told the wrong person if you let it keep something a secret.
Yes. I will say that one of Draken's flaws, if he cannot keep a secret to save his life or anyone's life.
It's not just Draken's flaws. I think it's Joey's flaws too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very fitting flaw.
Joey does, as a 10-year-old, he gets 1 mulligan per session. Like, do you really want to do that? Okay, I'll take it back. He gets 1 of those per session. Okay, so he is ready to go. You see that Felbranch is very excited that this is actually going to start happening. He has been planning this for, like he said, years.
Why did you name that Dalagor? This is Dalagor.
Oh, Dalagor owned this fortress many, many years ago. I just simply took over. So anything else you'd like to do with Felbranch? Felbranch is a copper Dragonborn wizard or mage. He is a Harper agent.
Does he have any books?
He has lots of books. You want a book? You can't have a book right now. You have a mission. You have a Harper mission. I have given you a Harper command. You must follow it out.
Okay.
You said Felbranch is a bit pushy.
Okay, fine.
Where is his nightshade?
Yeah.
Wendune knows. You guys would think I planned for Wendune to join us the whole time.
It's so convenient.
Have you?
I did not plan for anybody to join.
How are we going to be able to do this if we didn't?
You would have to get directions and explore, but that's okay.
I want to explore.
You're making this go much quicker.
I want to explore. Oh, they have
This
a
is
club.
quicker?
What, are you bored?
No, they have a club.
Okay, so Wendune, he's used to Felbranch's antics. He kind of goes, okay, whatever, and starts to leave with the 3 of you in tow. Melannor at this point is been pretty quiet this whole time, and he seems a little troubled.
What's wrong, Melannor?
Melannor, he's a druid from the surface, and he's been underground now for a long time. And he says, I think I'm just missing the sun. I'm missing more nature, more than caves and fungus.
Nature probably will come on eventually. I think.
I hope so.
They haven't made it to the major floor.
Yeah, nature floor. I bet they have a nature floor.
Well, I hope so. I'm looking forward to that if they do.
Look, I was almost positive. I bet they do it.
Well,
I
as
just
luck
guess
be had it,
crazy.
you're right here by the stairs leading up to the 3rd level, although, as Wendune tells you that Nightshade's shop is on the 3rd level, he doesn't go this way.
Why? Is that way crowded?
He goes on to tell you that the 3rd level is actually split into 2 sections divided by stone stalactites from the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
So you'd have to actually enter the area that Nightshade's shop is on from a different direction.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be cut off by this stone wall. So.
Boot club.
Yeah, that would have taken a long time
Oh,
to
they have
just
a
find on your
hospital
own, though,
here.
wouldn't it?
Good. They need
Let's not go to people
hospitals. Sorry.
Yeah, let's see here. And I need to find a way up myself. Here it is. Okay. So you eventually make your way past several shops, warehouses, residences, taverns, all kinds of places as you make your way up to the stairs to go up to the third level of Skullport. So the upper level here on the western side is a bit darker. It's more private residences. You don't see as many shops and things to really speak of. And you kind of make your way past a lot of these buildings until you do get to Nightshade's shop here, Nightshade's Caress. Okay.
What's an on ceiling?
Well, that's a good point. Thanks for reminding me. As you enter this third level, this is the uppermost level of Central Skullport. And up on the ceiling, you actually see a full-size galleon hanging from the ceiling.
What's a galleon?
A large ship, a boat, hanging from the ceiling. And you can see here out the shadow of the ship kind of hanging here. But there is a large boat on the ceiling.
Okay.
Above. Skullport's a very interesting place.
Is there anything there?
It's kind of hard to miss. This large galleon suspended from the ceiling. Currently, it seems vacant.
Why don't we go and talk to Nightshade first?
Okay.
And then worry about all the other stuff.
Okay, so this is another kind of very poor conditioned wooden structure here on this third level of Skullport. You guys are way up high now. You imagine you're probably a good between 30 and, depending on how far down the rickety bridges sag, you're probably between 30 and 50 feet above the ground level.
How much do they sag?
Depending on how long the bridge is, it's a suspended wooden bridge. It kind of sags in the middle as you walk through. It's very rickety and creaky and kind of, once you get used to it, you can see there's not as many people around, but those who are here, they seem to be pretty used to it, and they don't seem to mind. It's like if you imagine, people who build skyscrapers and how they just kind of walk casually down a beam, without any problem. It's kind of the same idea of those who are natives to this area.
Mm.
Anyway, you walk inside Nightshade's Caress, this shop. Inside, it's a very dark, dimly lit interior, and you see a relatively small room. And you see behind this, sitting at this table on the far side, is an elderly female human. She's hunched over, long, stringy gray hair, wrinkled skin, pockmarked with, you can see like scars. One of her eyes is kind of like grayed out from cataracts and things. Very, very hag-like, a very typical hag-looking old woman. Hello, welcome to my shop. Can I help you?
Yeah.
Yes, we're looking to procure a few ingredients.
Oh, good. Looking for
Hand
poison.
her the list.
Oh, a list. Excellent.
I hand her the,
You hand her the list?
yeah.
All right, she looks at the list with like her one good eye kind of scanning it, the other one kind of vaguely looking in your direction, but not really seeing. And she kind of looks through the list. Oh, yes, I have most of these things.
Most?
There's one item on this list that might be a little bit difficult. Yes.
What is it?
The blood of a netherese.
What's a nether?
Netherines?
A netherese, yes.
What's that?
Well, you see, if you apparently, and she's looking down this list, you are trying to awaken the flame skulls, I see. Interesting. I can tell by the use of mayonnaise in this peculiar way.
I already have that. You don't need it.
It's mayonnaise.
She says, well, yes, you need the blood of a Netherese. Now, the Netherese were the original founders of the city of Skullport many, many centuries ago.
How do you get that?
They are the ones who created the flame skulls to begin with.
How do you get their blood?
You would need to find a descendant of the Netherese, I suppose.
Do you know someone?
I do, actually. It's funny that you asked that. I keep track of such things in case I need the blood of such creatures. You're very inquisitive, Dragonborn, aren't you? I keep tabs on the Netherese descendants. Their blood is very valuable. They are naturally magic-infused people, even though they themselves may not know it. I've been keeping tabs on one in particular lately. However, he was last seen being captured by a giant spider.
Oh, wonderful.
It might be a little difficult.
How inconvenient.
I know. It's almost as if it was planned.
No, come on. Where was he? Did he die?
No, I know where he is. He's being kept for food.
Do we have any that you know about that are not currently held by a spider?
Well, we can kill a spider. Where is he?
You'll find these spiders in Tenarthal's Refuge. Tenarthal's Refuge, and Wendune again.
That's just down the street.
Before we go there, though, I need to go.
It is, exactly.
Why isn't there a spider in Tenarthal's Refuge?
Tenarthal's Refuge on the ceiling is a large, giant stone spider structure attached to the ceiling of the cave on the eastern side of Upper Skullport. The western side has a ship hanging from the ceiling. The eastern side has this giant stone spider structure hanging from the ceiling.
I asked what?
Been there for as long as I've been here. like
Why
she says.
would people want this?
The Drow House Tenarthal used to reside here in Skullport, and they created that structure using stone-shaping spells.
And
They
now,
love their spider motifs.
and now spiders eat people up there?
There is a nest of spiders there, although I believe the Drow House has since been driven out by the Xanathar Guild. But the spiders remain.
How do you get up there?
That is for you to find out.
Seriously, I have to do this by myself?
You have a group of 3 with you and a nice, cute metal dog.
As far as I know, I'm the only person who can levitate. I don't know if anybody else does this.
In any case, I can create this potion for you, no problem. I just need the blood of a Netherese, and this is the closest one I know of.
Okay.
If you find him, his name is Gondirth.
Do we have to, kill him or just draw blood?
If he's dead already, you can draw blood from his corpse. If he is alive, you could kill him and draw blood that way. Or you could simply bring him to me and I can just, she pulls out a needle, draw it myself.
I would rather just have his blood draw. People don't really care for that.
How much blood do you need?
At least enough to fill a vial.
Huh. You have to kill him for that.
What do you mean?
I leave that up to you.
What do you mean? You have more than just a vial of blood in your body. You don't have to kill somebody for a vial of blood.
In the meantime, are you interested in purchasing any poisons? I have plenty on stock.
Why do you have poisons?
This is a poisoner's shop.
Sometimes you have to kill a rat.
Exactly.
Rat poison.
Yeah, totally.
I have special on acid vials.
Okay.
But you can see it's stocked in her shelves. In addition to lots of alchemical ingredients and things, you see many, many shelves of small bottles of different shapes and sizes and colors.
Ooh, what's the blue one?
Oh, midnight tears.
What does it do?
What does it do? Good question.
All right, so let's leave the creepy old lady's house.
Okay.
Okay, so you make your way out of Nightshade's Caress here. And so Wendune, you know again, I was explaining to Ben while you were gone that if you hadn't been here, they were going to have to do all kinds of investigation checks and things to find these places, but you're just leading them right to them, no problem. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Glad to be of service.
Yep. So you know that Tennerthal's Refuge is on the eastern side of Upper Skullport, again on the ceiling, like I said, a large stone spider structure. But as far as you know, as long as you've been in Skullport, it has been abandoned. You do know that there are giant spiders that live up in there, kind of nest up in there, but for the most part, they don't cause much trouble, aside from the occasional, Skullport citizen being snatched every now and then. But you've never been up in there. It's like, if you can just imagine this really tall cave, 60, 70, 80 feet tall cave, and there's this structure up there, but you've never been in there. But you know where to see it from, and so you start to lead them back. And just for the sake of time, we're going to just scoot across here.
Cool.
Let's see where the stairs at. There. Here are the stairs.
What's a keep?
It's a large fortress.
Ooh.
So as you guys again kind of meander through, going back down to Middle Skullport, across, back to the east, back up to Upper Skullport here on the east side now, you do see another section of the city, and above you can see, you're kind of pictured here, and it might be hard to tell, but there is this large spider kind of silhouette representing the structure of a stone spider adhered to the ceiling of the cave.
I can see it.
It is very high up there. There's no visible stairs or ropes or anything of that nature that would lead you to like an obvious entry point.
How high can levitate go?
Let's look at your spell and see.
Thanks.
You can rise up to 20 feet tall, off the floor.
How much is this off the floor?
It's higher than that.
Well,
So we should look for a magical means.
Well,
Can you tell how high it is?
Let's see here. The entire cave is about 120 feet tall, and you are probably about halfway up here on the upper level. So you have a good 60 feet above you. That is the ceiling of the cave.
well, we got ropes,
Let's see what we can do.
but who can throw that high?
Well,
How about if you want to, someone do a perception check, kind of looking up at the structure.
all right.
I can do that.
If anyone is proficient, they can assist with giving that person advantage.
I am.
All right, I'll assist.
Wendune is also proficient, so either one of you can do the
Well,
check with advantage.
who has the higher plus?
I have +4.
I have 5.
Okay,
Well,
and I will assist you.
So Wendune and George both are looking up. Wendune is giving you advantage. Wendune obviously has seen this structure many times, so he can help point out little details.
All right. I rolled a 14.
14 with your advantage? Okay.
Feels an 8 otherwise.
It is a large stone structure. It's definitely big enough to house many, many spiders.
Oh no.
It is up in the ceiling. It looks like there are windows where the eyes of the spider would be looking down onto the city. It's kind of cool. But otherwise, you don't see anything obvious standing out to you as far as anything living up there
Anybody have a grappling hook?
or any other kind of entry point or any obvious entry point.
I have an entry point that I know. No.
What?
Break the window.
It is still 60 feet up.
I know, that's what we need. Anybody got a grappling hook? Nope.
Oh,
Okay.
I did.
No takers in the grappling hook.
I only have 50
I thought
feet
I
of
did
rope
have
anyway.
one.
Well, we all have 50 feet of rope, I think, though, so we can combine rope.
That would take a feat of strength to throw some grappling hook 60 feet straight up into the air.
I
This is
know.
true.
I have a 20 strength.
Oh, wow.
That would might do it.
If you roll,
Yeah, you gotta roll well. Roll well.
but where are you throwing it? To the window? To one of the arms coming out?
But does anybody have a grappling hook? I thought I had one, but I don't see it anywhere.
I do remember you having a grappling hook, George,
Me too.
back a long time ago.
I did too, but I don't see it anywhere.
Because I know you had it, I can go ahead and say you still do.
So what's the over-under? What do I have to roll to make this?
Well, you don't get to know what you need to hit as far as target goes, but I would like to know where you're trying to throw it to.
Break the glass.
You want to throw. So you're tying multiple ropes to a grappling hook. Now, I will say, perhaps to help you out, there are buildings around. You could potentially try to climb up to the roof of something to get even higher. Like another, rise up another 20 feet or so, 12 feet or so, maybe.
How tall is this Hall of Mental Splendor here in front of us?
Well, let me get the description here just to make sure I have it straight, because I wrote all this stuff down. Yes, a large keep. So you see in front of you there's a stone structure. It's got this kind of brain motif on a statue over the door. And it's like this large stone protrusion coming out above the door. It looks like the shape of a brain. And the stone structure is a large keep. And it has flat roof of about 20 feet above you. So that would cut off quite a bit of distance if you were to get up there somehow.
Well, that's convenient. All right, so I'm going to pull out my Jacob's ladder,
Okay.
I'm not
which
good
will
at
get me
ladders.
15 feet up. You're not good with a ladder?
I'm not good at climbing.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, I'm not good at climbing them.
Okay.
Hey, yeah.
Okay, so
Jacob's magical ladder, which is a 3 foot long ladder that expands up to 15 feet long.
and so I climb up that, and my height alone should let me be able to get the rest of the way.
Okay, yeah. So you set up the ladder, Draken and Wendune and Melannor kind of study it for you as you clamber up there with your rope and grappling hook. So now
I go
you're
next.
about 20 feet up on the roof.
No.
You look up, and now you're approximately 40 feet away from the large spider structure above you.
Oh, that's not so bad.
At this distance,
Okay.
At this distance, I will say you're a bit closer, and you can start to see a little bit more detail in the stone structure itself. And you do make out the movement of a giant spider crawling into the abdomen of the structure. There seems to be a hole in the abdomen of the large spider structure that you can now make out barely from this shorter distance.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But would you want to go that way?
So it's a hole.
The hole, it seems about, from this distance, it's a good 5 foot wide hole in the thing someone could fit through.
All right. And the only other obvious entrance is through these eyes.
Potentially, if you could break through them. They are glass, or at least seem
All right.
glass.
Let's just try to go through the hole. So, can he see the hole?
He does not have dark vision, so
No.
no.
Well, if that's the whole thing, but I'm only seeing a dark vision. I can't see it either because it's more than 30 feet away.
Actually, you're finding your dark vision has been restored.
What?
How convenient.
It only came, you kind of noticed it as you broke up on top of this ceiling, on top of the roof of this building, your vision kind of expanded outward. So you seem to have broken out of the boundary of whatever magic is involved in that, but you have to be pretty high up, apparently, in this cavern to not be exposed to that.
And, of course, we're not going to be doing that all day, every day.
Interesting. Alright, hold on one sec. I think there's something. I'm going to have Melannor climb up, and he's going to cast full strength on me.
So how about this? Since we did mulligan your light thing, we'll say, how about, if you want to, just for the sake of...
Draken would already know.
Instead of Draken casting levitate on himself, maybe he cast it on someone else.
Okay,
Since he would know he couldn't see up there.
Yeah, I cast it. Who wants to go up there and see whatever's inside?
With the spiders, not me.
Actually, no, that probably wouldn't work though, since you wouldn't be able to penetrate through it. The ring. Oh, the ring. It can only go through 1 foot of stone.
I'm talking about levitating like George up there with the grappling.
Oh, okay, that'll work.
I gotta help a 10-year-old sometimes.
Okay, so what's the plan here? You're going to levitate me up, and then I'm going to grapple through the eye?
Huh.
Or the hole.
Or
Is that or the hole?
Yeah, you choose. You're
The
up there.
hole is a opening. The eye is not. It is a glass covered opening. So it'd be depending on whether or not you can break through it.
Yeah. So the going through the eye would make it a harder strength check, which is hence the bull strength.
True.
But let's try the hole.
Okay. I was gonna say the eye would
And I can
give you an element of surprise more.
hold my own against the spiders, hopefully,
Okay.
while everybody else comes up.
So Melannor climbs up. So pretty much everybody's up on the ceiling now.
Oh, wait, nobody else can go up
I
there.
grab my ladder.
On the ladder. All right.
Wait, take a rope off of you. Take a bunch of rope off of you.
He's got all your stuff. Melannor
I have
casts
rope.
Bull's strength with enhanced ability on George.
Well,
Draken casts levitate on George.
what I meant was if he took a rope, he could climb the rope if he brings it down.
He is bringing a rope with a grappling hook,
Oh, okay.
and he's going to use it to get to the hole. That's what I'm understanding. Am I understanding correctly?
So he's gonna get us up there with a grapple hook, and then we're gonna top rope all the way up to the hole.
We're going to what to the hole?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to need bull strength for that.
Well, Bull's strength gives you advantage on strength checks. That's what it does.
Okay.
As well as your carrying capacity doubles.
But, you're gonna kind of be up there alone, though.
That's what I was saying. Are we gonna all climb this rope after you've grappled? Does it stay like that?
Assuming
Yeah, it's a grappling hook, so like it'll still be hanging down.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll climb up, and y'all can be climbing up after me.
And if I need to cast levitate,
At most, I'm thinking I should only be on my own for like 1 turn.
Okay. So the plan commences.
Yeah.
yes.
Melannor will use a spell slot to cast enhance ability on George.
And I can cast levitate plenty of times with the
Draken
grappling hook.
uses the charges on his staff to cast levitate on George. And George, you find yourself levitating upwards, 20 feet up into the air above the city. Your dark vision immaculately restored to you. You can see like you wish you could have seen all this time. And it's just, you see stars. I see stars. No.
All right. So I get my grappling hook out and throw it up.
All right, he's swinging a few times and so do your strength check with advantage.
12 with advantage.
12.
What?
Well, luckily, since you are so much closer, it's a bit easier to hit.
Luckily.
Your grappling hook goes through the hole, and you start pulling it, and you just keep pulling the rope, and you're like, oh, this isn't catching hold, and it just finally at the very last second, the hooks catch, and you pull taut on the grapple hook, and it seems to have held true.
Okay.
And you can, if you wanted to, with your levitate spell, the levitation itself won't propel you upwards anymore, but you could pull yourself up, like an astronaut walk if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. So
How long does this levitation spell last?
Oh yeah.
I will double check that for you. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Hurry up.
10 minutes. Okay. Okay. Yes, I'll pull myself up.
Okay. As you get up
Kind of
to
peek my head up and look around.
as you get up to the opening, it is pitch black in there. However, you relish in your ability to see in the dark.
I can see everything.
You can?
As you get there, you can actually even like hold on to the edge of the hole there and re-maneuver the grapple hook just to make sure it's nice and secure, because it was barely hanging on.
Oh, what?
And so you kind of look down, and the rope is accessible to the rest of the party to climb up as well.
I'm going to use love tail.
Hold on a
myself so I
second.
don't
However,
fall.
first, George, you peek up and look in, right?
Yes.
Okay, so within, you see a room, a large room, choked with webs. This area, is considered difficult terrain, we'll say, to walk through. It's just webbing is everywhere. No one has been here, except for spiders, it seems, in a long time. And they have used up all available space to cast their webs. So it's a large stone structure. It's the features that you can see there that are web covered, but you do see very ornate looking structure. The drow do, like their opulence. They're very fancy. So you do see tattered ruggings and tapestries, just long neglect and dust and webs. You don't see any actual spiders at the moment.
Anybody got a fireball?
I was looking to see if I had something.
Level 5.
All right. So I kind of wave everybody to come up.
Anybody want levitate? So if they fall, they will.
Yeah, put it on the dog so we can get it up in there.
Over the course of several minutes, the four of you, along with a levitating dog, managed to pull yourselves up to this hole within the abdomen of the spider-shaped structure.
The city looks so tiny.
The city does look like, they look like ants.
Okay.
Also looks like puzzle pieces.
So
see it down there, yeah.
So Melannor can burn the webbing away, but if we did that, we would need a clearer spot for us first. So we want to get burned in it.
Would this webbing hamper our movement at all?
Yeah, it gives you half movement.
What?
Yeah, so let's figure out a way to clear it from us so it doesn't murder us when we burn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to start clearing some webs.
I have an ornate dagger for no reason.
Start hacking away at the webs, is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, you start hacking away at the webs, kind of clearing them out around you. So we'll say that in this upper quadrant, we'll say the webbing has been hacked away.
Well, there might be some.
Alright.
I'd like everyone to roll stealth checks, please.
And there might be something in the webbing that we might not want to burn too. Ooh,
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe the guy we're looking for. 21.
6 plus 1.
7.
Hmm.
Okay.
What about your dog?
Do I have to roll for him?
No, we'll use Wendune's.
Your dog is very barking.
Melannor gets an 8, and I got 10.
Am I the only person
So
who
as
can
you
stealthy
are
here?
hacking away with your blades and such to kind of clear out some of the webbings, George, your hammer comes crashing into that pillar behind you, next to you. Boom! And Wendune, your dog, kind of click, 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 click with its claws on the tile floor.
Yeah, with my ornate dagger, I'm slicing.
Draken is unusually quiet. However, with the noises made, everyone kind of freezes and hopes while I roll and see what happens.
I have a dagger.
Okay. As you all pause for a moment, you don't hear anything. And despite your unstealthy entrance, you seem to have evaded the notice of anything so far.
We're still swinging
They
around
must be
with daggers.
deaf.
Or they're just not nearby.
Okay.
It's just
So, Draken did have a good point, though. If we burn these webbings, we do have a chance of burning this guy we're trying to find.
or anything else.
You do see across the room there
Or
are
anything else.
two doorways leading out,
Carcasses.
as well as some kind of large webbed globules of matter.
So are these egg sacs looking things, are they like Skyrim egg sacs, or are they like...
People.
They are not shaped like people. They appear to be egg-like.
Oh, I'm out of here.
Draken leaves.
No.
Climbs down the road.
I'm going the other way.
So it wouldn't be prudent to light these webs on fire like Zelda style, huh?
Apparently not.
And you might kill whatever's inside. If there's even anything in there, who knows?
Well, now I want to check them.
As Melannor can cast Passive Without a Trace to at least give us a bonus, we want to keep trying to clear these webs out.
Yeah,
I think something might be in these. Oh, come on. You messed up my
that's
circle.
okay. Draken, by the way,
Alright, so
Draken's the only one who cannot see right now. It's pitch black in here. Okay, so everybody gets plus 10 to stealth checks from now on.
Right now I'm flailing a knife around.
And he's flailed around and cut away webs very quietly earlier, but now he realizes I can't see anything. Can't see the snout in front of his face. Everyone else has some semblance of dark vision.
Someone hold my hand.
no.
What?
Could I use haste on everyone to counteract the webbing?
On everyone? Can you do that?
That's what I'm wondering, if I could do that.
learn a
And
new
I think
character.
not. I think it's a third level.
Haste. One creature can be hasted at third level.
But it only lasts for a minute.
And it lasts for 1 minute, yep.
Alright. We got Passive Without a Trace on. To bar from burning everything down, we could just start clearing away now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Draken, do you want to do any kind of light for yourself? You can do your dimmed light if you'd like.
I'll put my dim light. What color do spiders not like?
What?
Is there a color that spiders do not like?
Blue.
Sure, blue.
Okay. The light is dark blue.
A dark blue light, okay. Okay.
Yeah, they say if you paint the ceiling of your porch blue, the spiders think it's the sky and won't grow webs there.
I have heard that, yeah.
Okay, well,
Interesting.
I have
I'm gonna
a
have to
sky
remember that
blue
one.
light.
Okay.
You're in the sky now.
They might know they're not looking at the sky. These are being deep underground spiders. But,
What? You can at least roll.
What
for
is that blue?
so you put a cloth over your light spell on your staff, and it reduces the range to about 20 feet of dim light.
it?
So now you can at least see in front of you.
Now we're going to go through and clear all this stuff out, huh?
The
Check out
stomach.
these bulb
Yeah.
sacks.
Yep.
Okay, so you spend some time start hacking away at webs. Is that what I'm hearing?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's clear this out.
We need to open up these.
As you get to these egg sacs, is there anything in particular you'd like to do with them?
Are they exact?
I want to listen.
Oh,
You listen. So let's do
Yeah.
Do a perception check for me.
6.
They're pretty quiet.
I'm going awful tonight.
I want to see if I can see anything unusual about them.
They can let's do an investigation check. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Let's do a nature check. Nature check.
Nature?
Yeah.
23.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, yeah, these seem to be egg sacs for sure. You definitely recognize them for your experience with giant spiders. You being a very experienced warrior, you fought such things in the past. And, yeah, these definitely potentially could hatch out a swarm of spiders if disturbed.
Okay, let's not
Let's
disturb
leave
it.
them alone.
Bye. Let's go the
Should
other
we
way.
burn them down?
I like that. Let's burn them.
That way.
You want to burn them up?
Yeah, we cleared out the webs, so it shouldn't spread or anything.
Well, I will point out that the webbing continues past this room and into the halls and such beyond. Any fire that starts here will eventually spread there.
Eventually. You were correct. So we will not go that way.
In case that matters to anybody.
Well, can we just clear out some so it does it like it disconnects?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it passes. There's an entryway here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to reveal some more of this.
Oh, and it kind of connects, though.
And it connects. You can assume. You can't actually see that, but you can assume it connects since I'm showing it to you. And you can see as the building or the room continues in these directions, the webbing is just choking this entire area all the way through there.
But since we are
Me, out of character, really wants to burn it. But
I do too. I do too.
theory.
That's what you do with web. You burn it.
But
Every time there's web, burn.
if there's so much webbing, the spiders gotta be in webbing. So burning would also burn the spiders.
But I might also, like you pointed out, it might also burn our target.
Oh yeah.
And anything else of value. And it's clearing out the webbing slowly, like we've been doing.
Yeah.
Or we could just take it on the lip, take it on the chin, and just go through and have half speed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a very big place anyway.
Yeah, you don't need full movement.
Okay. So after spending some time clearing out this main kind of foyer here, you guys are ready to just push through?
Well,
Just get covered in this goop.
well
Yeah.
I do say that it's a good thing that we got rid of the main foyer because good escape plan.
Yeah, your movement
If
will
we
not
could
be-
make it back here, we could do a stand here or something.
your movement will not be hindered here if you were to fight anything in this area.
Or also like
Nice open space.
we have
So,
or if we're like running away from something, like if we needed to do something like that. Be fast towards the end, get away.
should we run into some spiders, would they be hampered by the same movement?
Spiders are not hampered by the webbing, no.
They made it.
That's disgusting.
That's life.
So, should I assume you're heading toward this eastern door as opposed to the western one?
Yeah.
Yes. And I am telling Draken, do not burn things while we're in the webbing.
But lightning burns.
Okay.
Lightning does not burn.
It
You
doesn't.
managed to get through this area. I'm not going to worry about, squeezing you through small sections and stuff. It doesn't matter. But kind of heading this way.
George is
The
inside a
dog
pillar.
falls through the world like a video game.
And George is in a pillar.
So this hallway
Pillar don't stop me.
continues to the east. You can see some stairs going up and kind of switches to the north that direction. To the south, you see more
What's that?
egg sacs attached to this pillar in front of you, as well as another passage to the east here.
Man, I feel like these egg sacs are going to come back and bite us in the butt later.
Yeah, I'm feeling that.
I'll go ahead and show you this. There, as you're walking around this wall, you kind of recognize this wall to your right, George and Melannor. There is a stairway going up if you go around and north this way. So many entrances and exits from this central kind of passage here, choked with webs.
I think we're gonna have to vote which way we go. Vote. I vote the leg that we're by.
Might as well.
Yeah, I might come up with some stuff. I have a feeling everything's up above them stairs.
Okay, so you start to squeeze down this passage.
Stairs are the key.
I guess I'll take point.
Okay, so George in the front.
No, send the dog first.
Dog first?
What? You're gonna kill your dog?
Your faithful companion?
He can get healed rapidly by himself.
I can't do
All right.
I'm behind George and his shield.
So Boulder is directed to go first.
Does Boulder have dark vision?
That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Boulder, get back down here. I have my light on. You can see.
Yes, 60 feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
He does.
Which is why I need to be close to the front for Boulder.
Boulder can see in the dark.
Oh.
Okay, after George, who's after him in marching order?
No, I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll go
There's some
after you.
considerable constitution there. And a ridiculous amount of health potions.
Yeah, you bought a whole ton. I gave you some money for equipment, and you're like, I'll buy all the health potions. And then Melannor will bring up the rear. We got it.
That shouldn't be a disappointment then.
Okay, so are we sending the dog like ahead, or are we all kind of marching forward, dog in front?
I'll go forward, dog in front.
Okay.
Yeah. Single file.
Yeah.
We got a party going on. All right, so let's do new stealth checks now with Pass Without a Trace active, so everyone gets plus 10 to whatever they roll. And go ahead and roll.
I got 29.
14.
26 or 16.
Go ahead and roll for Boulder since he's technically out in front and would probably have his own stealth check.
14.
So his
And Melannor got 24.
That was a 1.
got a 1.
Yeah, apparently the robotic dog isn't very quiet.
All right.
He needs more.
He needs some WD-40. Yeah.
So the click, 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 click of metal claws on tile
What are those?
as it turns the corner.
Oof.
Yeah.
And you hear a noise as Boulder, I'm assuming, like unlike a real dog, it doesn't just bark, but it would point, we'll say. And it does appear to be some sort of creature within this room.
Didn't sound like a spider. It sounded more like a...
Maybe.
Oh, that's
Oh.
Bye. What's the purple thing?
Back up.
Back up.
all right,
I made
let's
initiative
run.
rolls, I'm sorry.
No.
What is this stuff?
What is it?
You
Ew.
guys don't even see hardly any of this. George might see, he's in front there.
I got an 8. Oh, this is so gross. Ew. What's the purple thing? Is it a bat? What is that?
Can we burn it now?
Yes. Shoot the fire. Who cares? Shoot the fire.
Alright.
Alright, Melannor has a 16. I got a 14.
How about Wendune?
13.
13. And your dog will act on after your turn.
Did you get mine?
I do.
Okay.
All right, let's get some more exciting music. Well, first of all, from the ceiling, a giant spider falls through the webs deftly and sees this dog construct in front of it and moves forward to attack.
Now we can't get in. Spider.
So it does a bite attack against the dog. Rolls a 13 to hit.
That misses.
AC is 15, yep, so it does miss. And then otherwise it will then climb up the wall and is perched above the door looking down at this zone. So you can, this space is traversable. The spider is literally above looking down, but it did strike at the dog, missed, and still within melee range of the dog, crawled up on the wall above the door.
Did George see this?
We'll say George did.
Okay, so he knows that there's a giant spider above the door. Good.
It is Melannor's turn, though. He's in the back of the pack. And Ben, you control Melannor.
Alright, so Melannor's way back there.
Yep. We'll go ahead and
Let's see what we can do.
We'll say you're this far.
Alright, so he is going to cast Spider Climb on himself.
Okay. So since it's relevant, the passage you're in is 10 feet tall, so 5 feet wide.
Okay. And this is a concentration spell, so the Patch Valid Trace drops.
Okay. So he has Spider Climb now on himself.
Yes. So he's going to climb up, and I guess he'll be able to make it above. He's going to make it above Wendune, huh?
Yeah, he can get to about there with his half movement.
Okay.
We'll put him right here.
And then, okay. So, and the spider, he's above the doorway, so he can't see him.
The spider can only see the dog. It can't even see George because you're back further in the passage.
I mean, Melannor can't see the spider.
Melannor can. We'll say he can peek around the corner and see. No, you know what? No, it's above the passage, so no, he wouldn't be able to see the spider. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
We'll say that you
Can he see this purple thing?
The purple thing.
The purple.
What is the purple thing?
Well, let's do let's do a nature check for Melannor.
Nature check? Oh.
Asking the druid to do a nature check.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you recognize it?
22.
It is an ettercap.
What's an ettercap?
It is a monstrosity. It is a kind of like a spider-like biped. Okay.
It's a biped.
Two-legged creature.
Basically a two-legged spider that's purple.
Oh, I'm not sure.
All right. So Melannor, he's used his action. He's used his movement. As a bonus action, he's going to cast Frostbite at that thing.
That's the purple thing.
There it is. That's an ettercap. All right, Frostbite at the ettercap.
Yes.
That's a
He
Constitution.
needs to make a Constitution saving throw, 13 or better.
Who's doing this?
Got a 7.
All right. So it's going to take 3d6 of damage.
Go for it.
So 12 cold damage.
12 cold damage.
And it'll have disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
All right, remind me of that. Disadvantage for the ettercap's next attack. All right, so as Melannor climbs up onto the ceiling, peeks around the corner, sees this thing of, oh, ettercap, and lets loose this frostbite spell. It the Ettercap kind of doesn't even see it coming. It's completely surprised by the spell, and you see the frost just build up around its spiny spider-like carapace, and it's damaged by it. Okay. Next to act, unless there's anything else Melannor wants to do.
That's all he can do.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Action, bonus action, movement. It's done.
A swarm of spiders. There's several swarms in this room. They begin to move, coming forward. And
Ooh.
they climb all over the dog.
Infest the robo dog. Do they get in it? Ew.
They swarm the dog. The swarm, that means they can occupy that creature's space and move through any opening like that. And they all start to bite.
Biting metal.
Well, I rolled a natural 1, so like you said, the metal.
It breaks their fangs.
No. So it doesn't do any damage at all. And that's their turn. So next is the Ettercap. The Ettercap is going to make its way forward. Again, the giant spider is on the space above the door. So he is going to come forward, and he's going to kind of peek around the corner as well to do his attack. Again, has disadvantage, right? It is going to do a multi-attack. So the first attack with disadvantage
That cutie's so
is a
neat.
bite. First roll is an 11, so that's definitely going to miss the dog. Second roll was a 15. But disadvantage, the 11.
That matches.
What is a reaction?
Sorry, I meant to say with a disadvantage, he had 11 or 15, he got the 11. So it missed.
Oh, okay.
And then it's going to use its web garrot. Garrot. Has that word? Like a choking action.
They're
It's
all.
going to
Garrett.
Yeah, garrot. It's going to do the attack with a webbing, trying to grapple the target. This is a 21 to grapple.
And to answer your question, Brandon, a reaction is basically an action you can take on someone else's turn, given a certain set of circumstances.
You get one reaction every round. So the attack, the web attack against the dog hit. It's going to do 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and the target is grappled. So Boulder becomes grappled, meaning he can't move. It also says that the target can't breathe. However, since this is a construct, I'm going to assume he doesn't have to breathe. And so that's not going to be an issue.
Oh, I'm not going over there anymore.
Okay. And then it is going to attempt to pull Boulder back with its grappled target. It has its target. It doesn't know anything. It's not that smart to realize this is not something it can't eat. And
Let it do
it's
it.
grappled the dog and is going to try to pull it away.
Let it do it. Then there's room for people to move forward. Unless we killed it.
And so it has movement. It's going to grab and pull. So Boulder gets pulled back here. The swarm actually moves with the dog. And that's as far as he can go as he starts to cover the dog in more webs over here. He's going to try and web it up in a kind of cocoon action. All right, next is George's turn.
All right.
Forward.
I am going to come out and get to there. I saw the spider go, attack the dog and go up, right? So I know he's there.
Yeah, we'll say you know it's there.
Okay.
As you enter this room more properly, you can see many cocooned humanoid creatures all around, as well as other egg sacs and such.
One of these may be our target.
Potential.
We'll get there when we
Maybe.
cross that bridge.
Yeah. All right. I am going to attack this giant spider.
Go for it.
Peter
All
Parker's
right.
probably dead if it's in there.
23 to hit.
That definitely hits.
I'm going to Divine Smite.
Oh, crap.
All right, so
This is George's favorite thing to do is Divine Smite.
I do love the Divine Smite. Okay, that's 8 points for the regular damage.
8 damage.
Yeah, and then for the Divine Smite, since we're fresh and kind of there's a lot of them, I'm going to go ahead and do it at second level. So it's going to be 13.
13 points of damage as you lay the glowing hammer down against this spider. You can feel the exoskeleton of this giant creature just crack under the strength of your blow as you just wail on it. You can hear this screeching sound fill the cavern. Or sorry, not cavern. I've been in caves for a long time. Fill this room, and the Ettercap kind of looks up and screeches back. Still alive.
Awesome. All right, so for my second attack, 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. I'll also do another Divine Smite, and that's going to hit for 9 points of regular damage.
You don't even need the Divine Smite. As that second strike comes through, it just smashes down, and whatever crack the exoskeleton had before, it now has turned into a squishing sound as the giant spider kind of flops off the wall and lands on the floor in front of you, curling up its legs in a death pose.
You gross. Don't want to touch that. Yeah, I'm prestidigitation after this. Already got all
You're
this.
not messed up. You're not even in there.
No, all the spider webs anyway.
Okay.
All right. So bonus action, I am going to
I wonder how many bugs are in these.
Toll the Dead.
On the
Ender Cap.
Okay. So it has to do a wisdom save, if I remember.
Yes, wisdom save 14.
Non-natural 20. So it resists the damage.
All right, that's my turn.
All right, next is Wendune. So you have half movement in all the webbing. So you can move 3 squares, essentially, 15 feet. Or actually,
He's dead.
you have 30 feet. No, you have 25 feet of walking movement. So you can only actually move 2 squares. Because you're a dwarf.
Good with me.
Or you can dash.
Can I dash? Do I have that?
It uses your action.
Yeah, dash is a standard action, but it uses your entire action.
You can still bonus action.
Yeah. But that'll get you through the hall and into the room.
Yeah, let's do that and get over there where the dog is.
You're going to dash through the webbing, over the dead body of the spider, and then get right here behind the dog.
Yeah, I got, what, 2, 3 enemies around me now?
2 swarms of spiders. The Ettercap's another space away.
Oh, the Ettercap's gonna be gone.
The spider, we'll go ahead and just remove it. It is dead.
But it's still there, and I think it's gross, and so I'm not moving into there.
It's still there, and I think it's gross. So Wendune, we have a couple of house rules that are going to pop up probably, but the biggest one is the use of cantrip spells can be a bonus action, even if they are technically actions as far as the rules are written. However, you can only do 1 cantrip per turn. Move to Draken's turn next.
Okay, I'm going to move 3 spaces forward. That's actually as much as I can do. I can now see.
Yeah.
And I'm going to witch bolt something in here.
Okay.
3rd level witch bolt, the
You
purple
can
thing.
see the Ettercap. Okay. So is that something that you roll or I roll?
I roll it to see if I hit.
Okay, go for it.
And then, as an action, why I like this is, as an action, I can basically snap and it does the damage again, but it still counts as an action. If I hit, of course. Do I hit with a 15?
A 15 does hit.
Yes. Okay, and then I get a +4 since it's a lightning spell. So 26 damage.
So 26 damage to the Ettercap.
Nice.
You reach across and Witch Bolt, this flash of electrical energy just erupts from your hand and shatters across the already cold, icy body of the Ettercap. And it screeches. "Ah!"
Yeah, well, it's about to get more cold, so I'm gonna Ray of Frost that. It's also slower now. If I hit. 17.
That definitely hits.
I'm low, you know. 6 damage.
Okay, 6 damage.
Frosted.
All right. You other hand, you one hand Witch Bolt, second hand Frost Bolt, just
Ray of Frost.
raking energy. Sorry, Ray of Frost, raking energy across the Ettercap.
Frostbolt is actually way more powerful.
You're correct. I understand. Okay, these swarms of insects now got off their laurels and are swarming.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they're called.
First one goes for George, swarming around you.
Gross.
They're going to do a bite attack. First one is a 10 to hit, which I believe is a miss.
Misses.
And the other swarm, here next to the dog in Wendune, goes for Wendune, swarming around him. Again, another bite attack. This time a 6, which I believe also misses. So these little tiny mouths swarming all over you, trying to take little bites at you. However,
Armor.
not seeming to get through your armor. That is the end of the round. Second round. Melannor. Standing on the ceiling.
All right.
Back here in the hallway.
Would that
All
really be
right.
a problem with the
Let's
web
see.
still?
He still has to get
Yeah,
through
he
there.
still has half movement.
Yeah.
I don't think Spider Climb changes that. All right, he's going to cast. He's going to cast Blight.
Blight.
Oh,
On
that's
the-
big.
Blight.
Okay. On the Ettercap, I assume.
Yeah, on the inner cat.
You don't need
Yes. Constitution 13.
that.
Constitution save. He got a 18. 18 on the Constitution save.
All right, so he gets half damage. And does 50 damage, half, so 25 damage.
25 damage. Good grief. Yeah, you cast Blight, and this greenish, sickly energy floats through the air and lands on the Ettercap and just starts to burn at the flesh. It's already been iced, it's been lightninged, and now it's been melting.
Wait,
And the
you're
Ettercap,
burning it with like webs?
like acid.
No, it's like necrotic
Yeah,
damage.
like flesh eating.
Oh.
And the flesh, the muscle just kind of caves in and it slumps to the ground.
On
dead.
top of the Robo Dog. No.
The Ettercap has been killed.
All right.
Now I just got
Bonus action, I will cast Frostbite on the swarm on the dog folder.
Okay.
And that's a Constitution 13 save.
It rolled an 18. Natural 18.
All right. I don't think they take any damage then.
All right.
All right, that's his turn.
So this swarm
Let's stay there.
insects on the dog now. It attempts to bite again. Rolled a 12. It's not making any headway. And because of its nearby masters have all fallen, they all disperse. So this swarm of insects just kind of scatters. It's no longer a swarm anymore.
or like those things were keeping them together.
Yeah, the other swarms also seem to do the same. The swarms on Wendune and George each respectively kind of scatter and hide themselves into the webbing around the room. Without being coalesced into a swarm, they no longer count as a creature. And combat is over.
Were they poisonous?
No poison damage so far.
Oh, good.
So far.
Well, target might be in this room.
Yeah. Do we know what this guy looks like?
You have no idea.
Oh. This doesn't help.
Well, that doesn't help. Does Wendune know what this guy looks like?
Nope.
Do we know if it's a male or a female?
You know it's a male.
That helps. That reduces how many people we have to bring.
All right, so let's start unwrapping some of these body shapes and see if
Okay.
anybody might still be alive.
Yeah.
You'll say, well, you spend some time. That's about everybody. Let's say in this case, in the context, everyone kind of scatters and starts to open up webbing. So everyone can do an investigation check of their own.
All right. I got a 10.
14, pretty good.
I got an 8.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Melannor got a 17.
All right. You managed to do a pretty thorough job. You're going through, you find many desiccated corpses, just bodies that have been here for a long time.
You don't need a long time.
No, you're looking for something more fresh. You're right. Nothing here seems to be fresh. Everything has been either stored for the long haul and mummified. Like you even find the skeletal drow bodies from, you assume, as the original inhabitants of this location.
Oh, wow.
Nothing of living or recently living. So this seems to be pretty old stuff.
Is there anything with the bodies, like loot-wise?
All the clothing is just kind of rotted away by this time. If you want to, we'll say that Melannor finds some coins with his search.
Like
prior investigation.
Anything on them when they die, spiders don't take that off.
Yeah, but it just kind of over time scatters or gets absorbed by the elements, we'll say. But the only thing really found of value is about 10 gold.
This whole fight for 10 gold.
Yeah.
One room.
I know that giant.
All right.
Before we keep going, I want to get Boulder to cast Repair on itself.
All right.
I don't think he ever got hurt.
I took 10 damage or 6 damage.
No.
Still.
Oh, when the thing got him, yeah. Ender cap.
Yep.
I forgot that webbing thing did damage.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Well, more dungeon to go through. However, should we come to a close for this session? I know it's late for you guys.
Yeah, I gotta be at work tomorrow at 6, or today.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
All right then. Well, let's go ahead and stop there, and we'll pick it up next time.